Hi folks, welcome back. It's Wednesday. We're on peg 7 this week. It's been a funny old day, to be honest. Fishing's been very slow today. Pressure's through the roof at the moment. Lots of fish up and about cruising, but just not having it. I had considered fishing on peg 12, which is here, as you can see, into this bottom bay. There was a few fish showing up along that margin, but there was somebody on peg 9 and there had been somebody on peg 12 earlier, so I chose to not to bother. I don't like getting in over bait and not knowing exactly where he put the bait or how much he put in, so I decided to come on here, peg 7, which is in the centre of the lake. Also, with the pressure being high, the fish are up in the water. I have been putting floaters in. They've been taking an odd one, but they're not really having it. The wind's chopping and changing direction, which is moving the floaters from one side of the lake to the other in literally minutes. So the next thing they're coming back the opposite way. It's strange old weather. What I said, allows me to fish the ramp I spoke about before, which is just to the right of the lily pods, between the lily pods and the big tree you can see. That's where the digger would have tracked up and down onto the island. And I have one rod just off the lilies, just to the right, well, probably about 6 foot, 7 foot off the lilies, just to give me time. I don't want to be fishing right up tight to them. Unless I'm sitting on top of the rods, because if those fish get in there, that's a snag in reality. You need to be, if you're going to fish an area like that tight, you need to be sitting right on top of the rods. Your chair would set it, ready to lift it, bait runner off, and hook and hold basically, to turn those fish away. So I'm down to relax as normal. I don't want to be sitting hovering over the rod all night, so I just fish a wee bit shy, give me time to get to the rod, turn them before they get anywhere near it. Well, it's been a busy old week at the fishery, to be honest. We had our charity day on Saturday. We were raising money for the firefighters charity. Just like to thank everybody at this point that took part and donated. Fishing was slow, to be honest. It always is in those competitions. It's just too many people on the bank. Fish aren't used to that amount of commotion. You know, you have 20, 25 people walking the banks and everybody shouting and roaring and carrying on. It doesn't help. And again, as I say, the pressure at the moment is through the roof. But we shall had a good day. So we did. Everybody enjoyed it. A good night. The music was brilliant. The barbecue went down well. And there's a few sore heads, I'm sure, the next morning, mine included. You all know who you are. I'll be honest, I blame you lot. But we never learn. Let's say I have one out on an overdepth zig at the minute, which is sitting you can just about see the white pop up here, just on the surface. I'm not feeding a few floaters in. Say there is an odd one taken. I didn't fish the controller float again for the fact that the wind's chopping and changing. It would just be drifting it far too quickly. Looked too unnatural. So I fished it off the lead to see how that goes. I'm just letting that sit there for now. I have one, as I said, on that ramp, which is in the upper layers of the water. You only have about 2 foot of water, and with the pressure being high, and I know the fish are up there. If they do want to feed, I'm at that level. So there's been a few fish just starting to show in the last 10 or 15 minutes here, so hopefully they're going to get their heads down. I've one spot down the margin baited too, a lot of pallet, a few boilies for later on. What I'd say so far, it's looking good for the evening. If this wind would just drop away, I have no doubt I could get those fish taking floaters. But we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go tap a couple of rigs for later on, and we shall see what the rest of the evening brings. I'll let you all know how we're getting on. show you all the rig that I use, the slipdrig, and how to tie it. I use armour link and Nash, £15. It's a soft coated sinking braid. There's lots of different versions on the market. Really personal choice as to what you use. And you start off with 12 inches of that, which is the length of my tackle box, or thereabouts. I tie that onto a size 6 wide gape bank tackle. Brilliant hooks, and they've got a good big eye on them. With this rig, you're going through the eye 3 times rather than twice with a standard knotless knot would be. So you do need a hook with quite a big eye. So basically coming from the point up through the eye and then back through the eye again, the same way. So you've now created a loop. You squeeze the loop together, and onto that loop I put on a bait screw on this over the loop. If you pull the loop down over the hook, over the bed, that's now trapped, and I generally try to fish it just on the edge of the bend, just enough so it can't slip back round again. If you tie it too far down the bend, you find it can slip off. So once that's done, simply your standard knotless knot. I use 8 turns, just out of habit more than anything else, to be honest. And if you always wet the end of the braid, find it goes through the eye a lot easier. Then you're busy back through the eye. So that's why you need a hook with a decent sized eye, because it's quite tricky to get through the 3rd time. Back through, and just tighten up your knotless knot as you would any other rig. Pull it all taut. That's that done. So you can see now that this is able to slide up and down. But yet can't get, as I said earlier, can't get off. And you just want to be trimming that tag end that's sticking out. Don't want to trim it too tight because I'm going to put a kicker on here. I usually try to trim it just about the same length as the turns of the knotless knot, so there's no chance of it coming undone. Again, that's a bank tackle kicker or liner liner. Again, lots of companies do them, lots of different types. I prefer these ones. A wee bit further to get through sometimes because the braid at the end. And once that on, just gets sliding it up. Into the position. I just want it just at the end of your knotless knot. To say that 8 turn seems to work out quite nice to get the kicker on as well. It just covers it. That's that done. You can see that's going to line everything up with the point. Increases the gape of the hook too. So then I again tie my rigs off at 6 inches. Again, I have the markings on the tackle box so I can just set it every time. I'll just use a figure of 8. Same, we'll double it over, create your loop. What I then do is twist the loop back towards myself, like so. And if I could find my baiting needle, wherever it's went. A lot of people tell me they struggle with this bit, getting the making the loop, even the loop from the end of a hair rig. If you use a baiting needle to pull it through, it makes life so much simpler. That's it, the finished rig. So just trim off the excess. Again, you don't need to cut it too tight. You know what I simply do is thread on an anti-tangle sleeve, which you can do beforehand, but I find it's much easier once you've tied the loop. And that's it, the finished rig. And you just simply screw your chosen hook bait on, and that's you ready to go. Nice and simple, as always. There's another nice one this evening. It's number 3. Another nice common. And back she goes. Those 3 have come off, just as I was talking about earlier, to the right of the lilies, just off the island. So every time I get a fish, I'm putting another 20, 30, 40 boilies out, a few pellets, to keep the swim topped up. So once they switch to on, they're obviously up for a bit of a feed now. So keep the bait getting in, keep them coming. We'll see if we can get a few more. That's another night today over. It's been a funny old evening. We got that a bit of a sort of an hour spell there, and there we go again, another bite. Well, that was another nice emer, about 6-7 pound. Oh, this fish just came up there, right over the spot. No, it was another nice one. I was just saying before that bite came, about an hour and a half to 2 hours there of good feeding. The wind dropped off, fish came up, they were back on the surface. Obviously they were feeding in the upper layers, which was again, as I was talking about earlier, being on that ramp off the island, was the other rod that I had down the margin produced nothing in the deeper water. But the one that was up on the ramp beside the lilies there, I must have had 5-6 fish so far. That nice linear one earlier was the biggest of them. Again, a fish I've never seen before, which looked as if I'd never seen a hook, which is good. It's nice to see after these, especially after the nettings, the last 3 years. There's still fish there that we haven't seen before, and that I've obviously never seen a hook, especially the amount of anglers over the last few years as well. It's good. There's still an element of mystery there. It's nice. But I'd say with that wee hour and a half of feeding, got a few fish, and we did try on the surface. To be honest, I had some floating pellets out, but sort of every time I went to try, the rod that was on that ramp went. So I put that rod away again. To be honest, I'll try in the morning early. Hopefully, if it's a nice morning, they'll be up on the surface again. Say those pressures being high, it's definitely keeping the fish in the upper layers. But the fishing has been very funny the last few days, even the last week. Pressure's high, oxygen levels are up and down like a yo-yo. One day is different to the next. Water temperature's very high at the moment. It's sort of the thing where we're testing the oxygen 2-3 times a day, every day, just keeping an eye on everything in all the lakes, making sure that everything's okay, and running our radars when we need to. But hopefully that's a sign. There's a couple of, got that run, there's a couple of fish starting to show again. We might get another few for the night side. But I'm going to go and watch monster carp, because I never get a chance in the house. By the time I get it at night, let's get the fishery shut down and the feeding done and everything else, it's generally too late to start and watch the TV. So I'm going to go and catch up on the next couple of episodes of it on the phone here, and see what the rest of the night brings. A bat just nearly came through the bivvy door. Don't want that in the bivvy. Susie's already tucked up, aren't you, Susie? Susie? No. Susie wants to go to sleep. Right. We shall go watch some monster carp. and hopefully catch a monster carp. And if we do, I'll keep you updated. Or if not, I'll chat to you in the morning, everyone. It's about 5 o'clock. Just been round, let the chickens out. It's been it was a very quiet night, to be honest. Wasn't much happened through the night. Not lost fish that we had. I did keep the rods out, but nothing happened until about 20 minutes ago. I got one off the ramp again. It's funny again, the lake just switched back on, as I was saying last night. It was, I never heard of fish until first thing this morning. So first light, a few fish started to show. But it's a lovely morning, a little bit cooler. You can see the sun's just starting to creep up. Absolutely beautiful this morning. There's a world of fizzing going on. You can see it all over there, the far side. It's definitely been some sort of hatch on last night as well. No doubt about that. You can see the scum all over the surface there. Down into that back corner, which is no doubt half the reason the fishing's slow. These massive fly hatches. But you can't compete with nature. It's definitely looking good for a bite or two this morning. I'm gonna head back around to the swim. Get the rods back out, get some bait out, get the kettle on. Fizzing that's going on out there is absolutely crazy. So these fish are feeding on something. Obviously isn't what I'm giving them. Looks like it's going to be another nice day. Right, I'll get back round, get the rods out, get the kettle on, and we'll see what the rest of the morning produces. There we go. It's fish number 3 this morning. Lovely chunky common. That fish is very deep, huge potential in that one. So there is. Had a wee second to recover. Straight back. Again, that one came off just the side of the lilies again. To be honest, the margin rod has produced nothing so far. I have seen a few fish turning in the margins right along this bank, to be honest. I want to let that one sit for now. But so the sun's up now. Maybe time to get some floaters out. It's definitely a beautiful morning. Right, get this rod back out. Some more bait out. Let's see what the rest of the morning produces. There we go, there's another double. Another cracking scaley mirror. Same spot again at the back of the island. I'd actually go up to the shop there, sort of a few customers out. And they have to swim for maybe half an hour. Sometimes it makes a big difference. Rest in the swim, leaving no lines in the water, plenty of bait, the fish come in and get confident. That was literally out 5-10 minutes after I come back. The way it went. Not sure any of you that are members will obviously have seen that on the Facebook page, the wee video I put up the other day from Fish Shears about the mats and nets. I know I harp on about this all the time, but I've done a little experiment with a thermometer in the sun, and the hooking mats had reached over 50 degrees, and the water that he had sitting in a bucket had reached nearly 40 degrees, which is absolutely crazy. You consider the water is 20 degrees, what the fish are used to, and you're coming out and put them in 50 degree heat. It'd be like frying an egg. As I say all the time, plenty of water, keeping all them mats good and wet, even under the trees as I have them here in the shade, so they're not sitting in direct sunlight. Make a big difference, and definitely better for the fish. Right, let's get this rod back out, see if we can't whittle another one out. That's it for another week. It's been a good session. What I had, maybe 12-15 fish, something like that. 2 doubles, that nice ghosty you saw earlier. But say all the fish came off the ramp, the back of the island, and the upper layers, bar one that cast the rod that was in the margins down the side of the island. But I say a good session. We're all packed up, ready to go. Thank you all for watching. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell icon to be kept updated. I'll chat to you next time.